Welcome everyone to Just Keeping It Real with your girl Charlotte, aka Charlie. How's everyone doing today? So, I've been trying to get on and drop either a video or tell you guys some of my thoughts on some things that's been happening in the media in regards to some NBA things, some football things, and all of the things, right? But with it being Thanksgiving and me doing all the cooking, shout out to my other channel, Charlie's Kitchen. Check that out because your girl over here really does throw down as well. So with all of the cooking that I had to do for my family and whatnot, and also working, and I'm an entrepreneur, I just could not spare the time to get on here. But I want to get on here now, and over the Thanksgiving week, we got tons and tons of games, and I was watching pretty much all of them, except for a couple that I did not get on Sunday. But otherwise, I was watching everything. So I'm going to share that with you guys. And if you have something that you want me to talk about in particular, then go ahead and put that in the comments as well, because I'm going to always be looking for topics and things that basically interest you guys. But I kind of want to share some things with you as well. So during the week of Thanksgiving, let me bring my paper over here. I got some notations, okay? Your girl got some notations. So here we go. So Thanksgiving Day, we started out with the best football game ever with the Cowboys. The Cowboys, and as y'all know, I am a Cowboy fan. I have been since I was, 3 or 4 years old. Like, no lie. And I'm 47 now. So, I'm still rocking. And, I love them boys. Okay? How about them boys? So, we started off with the Cowboys versus Washington. We annihilated Washington. Let me just put it on out there. So, that score was 45-10, which now puts us 8-3. This week coming up on Thursday on Prime, of course, we're going to be going against the Seahawks. I'm looking forward to that game, and we need to crush that as well, okay? Because we're trying to keep up with those birds. That's what I call them, the birds. Y'all call them the Eagles. I call them the birds. We're trying to keep up with the birds. And we actually need, the football guys to actually let the birds lose 1 or 2, which would help us even more to get into our standings. So I would so appreciate that, Lord. But neither here nor there. So we got 45-10. Super duper good game. Bland actually got in that game his 5th not interception, what is it, pick 6. He got his 5th pick 6, which broke the record. No one has ever done that, which was amazing for him. Young guy, and now he breaks the record, so that's pretty amazing. So love that game. I loved also the Packers game. The Packers and the Lions, that was a good game too. Okay. Packers got 29 to the Lions 22. Love was doing his thing. I really dig that young man. I really do. I dig him. Justin Fields is another one that I dig, but we're going to get into that a little later because they also had a game for Monday Night Football, actually. So I really dig him. And it's a couple people that I had shouted out at the beginning of the season that I said we need to CJ Stroud was one of them. Nobody was really talking about him until recently, but I knew he was a winner. And as quiet as kept, Bryce Young is also a winner. I just think he doesn't have any pieces around him, which is hindering him completely. But Bryce Young is definitely a winner. If they would give him the pieces that they gave CJ Stroud, he would be probably in the same position, if not better. But because they didn't put those pieces around Bryce Young, that's why he's having the issues that he's having right now. And if they don't put those pieces around him, they're going to jack that young boy up because he's getting sacked so many times and whatnot. And so those are the things they're going to have to consider. And that's the other thing, too, with Justin Fields that I don't really like, is that he gets sacked quite a bit, too. And so they need to protect him more. They need to put some pieces around him. And you know, it's a whole discussion right now with Justin Fields, like, with his production. Like, he's gotten hurt. He's been injured quite a bit. And he just came back, right? So they're saying, do they try and get the young man from USC that's in college right now to replace Justin Fields, or do they keep him? That's one of the big things right now. I think you keep him. You put all of this time and effort and money into him at this point, 2 or 3 years, because 9 times out of 10, you get somebody from college, you're going to have to build them up too. You're going to take maybe another 2-3 years to do that. When you've already put all of that into this young man, why not finish it and see where that goes? So it's some big things happening right now, and for different ones to like decipher, you know, which way they feel that management should go. So that's something up there. But anyway, Green Bay Packers had 29 to the Lions 22. Love was throwing some dots, you guys. Oh my goodness, he was throwing some dots out there. I love to see it. I love for him to come in his own. He was looking super duper comfortable out there and just super duper confident. And that's what you want to see with your quarterback, especially a young quarterback as well. So that was pretty awesome. On Friday, we had, let's see here. No, we also had the 49ers. It was the 49ers in Seattle. That was 31. San Francisco had 31 to Seattle Seahawks 13. And then on Friday morning, I watched the Oklahoma and TCU game. And that's NCAA football, which is college, you guys. So I watched that game. Oklahoma had 69 to TCU's 45. It was a complete blowout for the most part. And then we had our first Black Friday game on Prime, which was pretty awesome. You know, I never remembered us having a Black Friday football game, but I actually enjoyed it. I don't know if they're gonna do it for any other holidays, but that was pretty awesome. Like if they have a, I don't know if they'll call it a Black Friday, after Christmas football game. That would be pretty awesome as well. But anyway, so we had the Black Friday game on Prime. That was Miami Dolphins versus the Jets. The Miami Dolphins blew the Jets out completely. 34-13 was the final. Crazy. That defense, Tyreek was on fire. And this is the funny thing. Well, not funny, but more ironic, is that most of that game, Tyreek Hill was hurt. He kept wrapping up his hand. It was all kind of things going on, but that boy was catching that ball and taking off, and they had no answer for him. That was the other thing. They had no answer for him, but it was nice to see. And they kept trying to put him on the bench. He's like, I'm not staying out. I'm not staying. Tyreek Hill is something else. He is something else. But Tua was also throwing them dots. He was dotting them up. It was crazy. And I think for the first time ever for me, because I've never been really like a Miami fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, obviously, but I love football in itself. But I can't say that I've ever been like watching Miami like that. But their connection, between the connection between Tyreek Hill and Tua is very evident. And it actually reminds me of the connection that I'm seeing now between my quarterback, Dakota Prescott, and CeeDee Lamb, because that connection is very evident. I mean, you could just see them like in that connection, and it's the same thing that I see with Tyreek Hill and Tua. Yeah, so that was nice to watch. Okay, so on Saturday, it was the Utah versus Colorado. And you know, Colorado has had their struggles. And mostly their struggles are coming from a defensive standpoint. And then that's college, NCAA. Okay, so that was Utah. So I watched that Saturday night. That was Utah and Colorado. And Utah scored 23 to Colorado 17. I was actually a little surprised with a lot of the people that they had out, especially their quarterback is out for Colorado, that they did pretty good against Utah. You know, like they weren't far off. 23 to 17, that's not really far off. And so if they put those pieces around Deion Sanders' son, and it's crazy, I can't think of his name. I can see his face and can't think of his name right now, but it'll come to me. But if they put those pieces around him, they need to first protect him, because one of the things that I knew prior to him being out this time was the last time they said that they had to like give him shots and stuff, because he was having so much pain in his side, and I believe it was his chest, don't quote me on that, but I think it was his side or whatever, and they had to give him injections. That was prior to this last time he got hurt. And this time is supposed to be a fracture in his back. Like, no, that's not okay. That's not okay. You need to protect your quarterback, and that's not okay. It's not okay. And so I feel so bad for him, because I think he plays his little heart out, and they're not protecting him. And I would see him go down all the time, like getting sacked, because we watch a lot of their games, me and my daughter, and I see him going down, and it's horrible to watch, you know. And he gets right back up. Sometimes he be limping, his shoulder look like it's almost dislocated, but he get right back up and throw a dart and try to help his team to win. And then a lot of times they're not catching, but he definitely needs some pieces around him. Definitely needs some pieces around him. So anyway, on Saturday night, that was Utah and Colorado. Sunday, we had a host of NFL games. A host of NFL games. Can I talk right now? We had a host of NFL games, okay? Now, in the area that I'm in, I'm pretty in a rural area. A lot of times it's um, trying to decipher if you're going to get the Cowboys game when the Cowboys are playing. Sometimes they want to give me the Chargers games. And it seems like our city picks the games that we're going to get broadcast to us in the city that we live in. And at least that's what I've been told by my provider. And so, just because I'm in California does not mean I want to see the LA Chargers every week or the LA Rams. Hello? Do not want to see them. Sorry. I'm a Cowboys girl. So why do I want to see them every week? They're losing anyway. So why do I want to see them? I never even liked them when I lived in LA. And didn't they leave LA to go other places and then came back? It's like, cut it out. And that's why a lot of times when the Cowboys play at Sci-Fi, you see more Cowboys fans than you do Chargers fans or Rams fans, because we feel like you betrayed us when you were in LA. You left us to go to other cities and then come back. It's like, no, that doesn't work. And even when you guys were in my city, when I lived in LA, haven't been in LA in quite a few years, but even when you were in my city, I still was repping my Dallas Cowboy gear. Okay? That's been all my life. Even when it was other people in my neighborhood that was repping their Raiders gear, I wasn't a part of them either. And I met Bo twice. And the first time he asked me, who is your favorite team? I don't know, Bo, if you remember that. Boys and Girls Club. That's where I met him. And I told him I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan till I die. He was like, what? Do you know what team I play for? I said, I do. You remember all those Bo commercials back in the day? Bo knows. And he had all that Raider gear on. No, boo. No. But anyway, I digress. So Sunday we had the Steelers, we had the Bengals. Obviously Joe Burrow is out, and so he didn't play in that game. I don't know if it was Achilles that he had a problem with. I'm not sure with Joe. I know that was an issue in the past. I don't know if it's that or his hand this time. I'm not too sure, so I'm not going to comment on that. But needless to say, he was out due to injury, okay? So the Steelers had 16 and the Bengals had 10. That was the final in that game. We had the Jaguars and the Texans. Oh, my God. I think this was one of my favorite games of Sunday. I did miss my Cowboys, though, because we had played Thursday night. I could have seen another game of the Cowboys on Sunday, to be honest with you. I felt like all Sunday we needed more excitement, but this game was nice. The Jaguars and the Texans was pretty nice. Because first of all, that's C.J. Stroud. You know he's been on a winning record with his games, and then we got to see him go against the Prince, like everybody calls him. From the Jaguars. I call him Head and Shoulders. Because he's always... So I call him Head and Shoulders. But anyway, needless to say. So Jaguars had 24 to the Texans 21. The Texans had an opportunity to win this game. But it slipped away, unfortunately. But that's C.J. Stroud. Boy, I had you on my top list. You still there. You doing your thing. When a lot of people was counting you out, I was here. I knew you was something special. And that boy, he was dotting it up. Okay? He was dotting it up. And I'll tell you something else. And I think it was a kick that they missed at the end. Yeah, it was the kick they missed. If they got that kick, they would have won the game by 1, I believe. Something like that, or tied it up for them to go into overtime. I can't quite remember right now. No, it would have went into overtime. That's what would have happened. And they almost got that. He missed by, when I tell you the game of inches, he missed by inches with the field goal. And that's how they didn't win that game. But when I tell you the other quarterback for the Jaguars, the one they call the Prince, honey, he was scared. He was scared. He was like, man, this boy right here, and he a rookie. He a rookie, and he getting with you. Can you imagine when he gets seasoned, what he gonna do to you? Like, for real. And you've been in the league now, what, 3-4 years? Man, can you imagine a rookie is doing all that to you? I mean, you could tell that was a close game. And when I tell you it was a good game, it was a good game. Okay, so then we had Cleveland Browns, and then we had Denver to play. Cleveland had 12 to Denver's 29, and Wilson was throwing them dots too. I'm telling you, that's my other boy. I always like Wilson, even when he was with the Seahawks. And, you know, it really hurted my heart this year to see so many people talking about him from last year because he had such a bad season. I mean, you can't deny that his season was not what it's been, but he's giving you, what, 13, 14 years in the league, and you guys can't give him more grace than that. Even when he went back to the Seahawks and they were booing him, I was like, he gave you guys 13, 14 seasons. And y'all here booing him because he left to go to another organization. Like, where's the gratitude? That really, like, pissed me off. It really did. But yeah, he's throwing them dots, and he's been winning on a winning streak. And so I really believe that Denver is going to get into the playoffs. I really believe it. Now, some people are also saying that the Packers might make it too. I think Denver's going to make it before the Packers. So we'll see how that ends. It's a lot of people in the race, and it's looking real close because a lot of teams been losing on the losing. It seemed like they had their peak, and then now they're going like this. You know what I mean? And so we'll see how a lot of these teams will end up. I like where my team is right now because I think we're peaking at the right time, and we're clicking all together at the right time. And that's what you want, is to be clicking at the same time. And so I love that. I love that for us. Okay, so as you know, Watson is out for Cleveland, and so they had a backup quarterback, and they were able to score 12 to Wilson's team, the Denver Broncos, 29. Excuse me. Then we had the Los Angeles Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals, and the Los Angeles Rams had 37 to the Arizona Cardinals 14. And you know, the Arizona Cardinals quarterback, he just came back from injury, but I don't think he's all the way, you know, where he needs to be thus far. So we're going to see how his progression goes. But the Rams, like I said, had 37, which they haven't been playing all that great either. So we're going to see if they're going to make it to the playoffs because it's very iffy. I think they're in the wild card position right now. So we just got to see with a lot of these teams. Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. So the Baltimore Ravens, they won this game, and that was 20. They lost their previous game. So they got 20 in this game to the Chargers 10. And as people keep saying, Justin was adjusting. Justin was Justining. He was doing the Justin. And I don't know. It's like he's an awesome quarterback. I'll give him that, right? But under clutch moments, he never seems to pull it through. And then he could go the whole game without having a pick six or an interception or anything. And when it comes to the fourth quarter, 5 minutes into the game, then that's when he want to do all that. It's like, boy, what the hell are you doing? The hell are you doing? But needless to say, I guess they're going to figure it out. So we have Monday Night Football. We're going to go on and hop into... Oh, I'm sorry. Before I hop into Monday night, I have to talk about those birds, because that was the last game for Sunday. And it was the Philadelphia Eagles, which I call the Birds, and it was the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills ended with 34 to the Philadelphia Eagles 37. Let me tell you, this game is one of those games that you would call like a nail biter. You at the edge of your seat kind of thing. Like, where is this going? Where is this going? I'm going to tell you what I had as far as my picks for week 12, which we're in currently. I think actually we're going into week 13. But this was week 12 that I'm referring to right now. And it was some questionable calls. I will say that. Because I can't get fined. It was some questionable calls. It was a call where Josh got pulled around his collar and yanked out of bounds. That should have been called. It wasn't. They should have got the first down. In that particular play. And it was another call that I saw with Diggs. I call him Diggy. Diggy, Diggy, Diggy. Can't you see? So Diggs, it was a play with Diggs that was, let's see. What was it? Pass interference. That's what it was. It was pass interference, and that wasn't called. No flag. But it was like everything the Eagles were doing, it was a flag. I was like, what is going on here? NFL, you need to rectify that. Because this is not the first team that I saw play the Philly Eagles, including our game at home, that questionable calls were made. So we need to get on that. We can't have one team having their own officials and dictating, okay, how the NFL is going to be called in general because they're at home. That can't be. Now I know even at Dallas, you might see a call here or there, but not so blatantly. I mean, it was some outrageous calls. And so that was not okay. It was not okay. It was a couple calls where Josh had threw the ball to one of his guys, and it was clearly, you know, unnecessary roughness or pass interference, and nothing was called. It was a couple times that I saw Josh getting hit as a quarterback, and any other time, the refs would call that roughing the passer. They didn't call that in this game, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? So it was those kind of things, you guys. But needless to say, the Eagles got another ugly win. Another ugly win. Yes, I said it with my full chest. Okay? Another ugly win. 37-34. I mean, regardless of the real facts, they winning. Whether it be ugly or not, they winning. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into Monday Night Football. And that was Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, who we were talking about earlier. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about the debate that's going on with Justin. Should the Bears try to trade to get the young man that's the quarterback right now with the USC? Can't think of his name. Old age, you guys. It'll come to me. I'll put it in the description box when I remember. But let me know what your thoughts are on that. Do you think that, the Chicago Bears should pour into Justin or try to go get another quarterback? I think, personally, they should pour into Justin. I mean, because I think he's an awesome quarterback. And anyone that you bring in, you're going to have to pour into them in some way. And why not do it to someone that has already been in, part of your organization, right? So anyway, Chicago Bears won that game 12 to Minnesota's 10. It was a low scoring game. Can I be honest though? Although I love Justin and I saw some dots that he threw and whatnot, this game, Lord have mercy, it was like pulling teeth. Do you hear what I'm saying? It was like pulling teeth. Like I went to the dentist and they were taking all day just to pull my teeth out. And I was just like, Lord, another minute. So I was happy for that game to be over. These are not two teams that need to play each other ever again, especially on Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night. We don't want to see them ever again. This was not it. I like to see Justin with like quarterbacks that also like to run out of the pocket and stuff like that. And this was not that. It was just him running. And so it was not entertaining. I will tell you something that I saw with the Vikings, though, is their defense is about to be insane. It's about to be insane, you guys. And when they get all their puzzles together, their pieces together, I should say, to the puzzle, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane because that defense is almost there. They just missing a little bit. But when they get to the full extreme, teams are going to have to be worried. I see it coming together. So needless to say, Justin and his team got the field goal at the end, and they were able to win that game. I believe it was by 2 points. Yeah, 2 points. Yeah, 10-12. Very close game. And I'm glad that it's over. So I wanted to do my review today of that, since it's Tuesday and I was off today from my day-to-day job, even though I have many jobs as an entrepreneur, let me just tell you. So I wanted to get on and share my views with that. Please let me know your views in the comments. And if it's something that you want me to be looking at, whether it's, because I'm thinking about doing the sidelines with the Cowboys. The Lakers, I was going to talk about them because in between all of these football games, the Lakers were playing. They got blown out in one game, 44. I'm getting so tired of the back and forth. They win one game, they lose three. They lose three, they win one. I mean, it's just the back and forth. My Lakers need to do something because I love them to death. I'm going to be a Laker for life, okay? But they need to do better too. And I'm over it. I'm over it. It's just, it's not good. It's not a good look. So anyway, my picks, okay? So I told you what the scores were. My picks for week 12, I'm going to run them down. So Packers, Lions. For some reason, I didn't pick the Packers. And I always pick love, but I didn't pick the Packers. I picked the Lions, and the Lions disappointed me. Obviously, the Cowboys versus the Commanders, I'm going to pick the Cowboys, so I won that. 49ers versus Seahawks, I picked the 49ers, of course. And then we play the Seahawks this week on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. Of course, I'm going to pick my Cowboys over the Seahawks. Hello. Now, I call them GG. I love me some GG, but against my Cowboys, I'm going to pick my Cowboys, okay? So, 49ers versus Seahawks, I put the 49ers. Dolphins versus the Jets. Dolphins versus the Jets, I picked the Dolphins. Buccaneers versus the Colts, I picked the Colts. Patriots versus the Giants, I picked the Giants. Steelers versus Bengals, I picked the Steelers. Panthers versus Titans, I picked the Titans, and the Panthers won, I believe. Okay. Texans versus Jaguars, I picked the Texans, and the Jaguars won. Saints versus Falcons, I picked the Falcons, and the Falcons won. Rams versus Cardinals, I picked the Cardinals, and the Rams won. Because I never picked the Rams, I'm going to be honest. I'm not for the Los Angeles teams. No, no, no. Browns versus Broncos. And I picked the Broncos. Bills versus Eagles. I picked the Bills, and the Bills lost. So the Eagles won on that one. Chiefs versus Raiders, I picked the Chiefs. And Ravens versus Chargers, I picked the Ravens. And Bears versus Vikings, I picked the Bears. So I won that as well. So out of 16 picks for week 12, I got 11 right. That's pretty darn good. Okay? This girl over here doing it. That's pretty darn good. So I am proud of me. If you guys have anything that you want to share to this conversation, please go ahead and put it in the comment section. And I'll see you guys for another video at another time. Have an amazing Tuesday. Stay blessed. And until next time, your girl, Charlotte, is out.